Kaboom! You guessed it, we'll be talking about explosives today. Probably number one tip, don't pull the pin and throw the pin. Probably not a good idea. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to tell you about some of the basics about explosives and where you can find them. So there's two weapons that use the underslug, the M203 underslug that's attached to the weapon. If you see that underneath the weapon itself, you can see me holding my hand on it. The two weapons that use it is the M4A1 holographic 203 and the M16A2 203. You can find them, they're going to go inside this slot here. Whenever you find a 203, a smoke grenade, or a flare, they're going to go inside your secondary weapon slot. So keep that in mind if you do find one and you have the underslug on the gun itself, the M203 launcher. It's going to be taking a slot from down here. The two places, the two guns that you can use these with, the M4A1 holographic can be found inside the barracks. There's a 0.23% chance of finding it inside of the barracks. And for the M16A2 203, there is a 0.19% chance of finding it inside of a military structure. Military structures are going to be the fire station that is over there in the distance. You can see it pretty far out there. It's at the near the hangars. The control tower, which is right next to it. The hangars themselves, and just the other types of structures, deer stands, camps, that sort of areas. Are some of the basics of how to use the M203 HE grenade. First of all, to get to the HE203 grenade, you needed to hit F on your keyboard and cycle through. So I went from single to burst. Now I'm on HE. The HE on here, it is each of those tick marks on there is 25. So let's use the targets in the distance. The second row of targets, that is 100 meters away from where I am right now. So I'm going to go back to the gun. So that's 25, 50, 75, 100. It's going to change where it goes if you zoom in. So if you just hold it here and shoot, it's going to land right on the targets. But if you try zooming in to see where it's before you shoot, so I'm going to go back 25, 50, 75, 100 and zoom in and put it on that marker right there where it should be 100. It's going to end up falling way short. See, that target there is, these are 50 meters out. So that's a 50 meter distance is where it's going to go, and the further it travels, the more it's going to drop. You can actually use this further to 200 meters. The very bottom is going to be 200 meters on that bar. But you can aim it higher. What you do is you use reference points in the distance. So we're going to use that bush. So that's what you do is I'm putting the 200 meter mark on that bush, and I'm using the sky as a reference. There's like a gap in the clouds right there, so I'm going to put it on the bush, try and kind of guess where it is. So now I'm at 200 meters. Next is the M203 smoke grenades. You can find these in military structures as well. The white smoke grenade has a 4.81% chance of spawning inside a military structure. The red grenade here has a 1.92% chance of spawning inside of a military structure, and the green flare has a 1.92% chance of spawning inside of a military structure as well. Just like the thrown hand smoke grenades, these are going to bounce when you shoot them. They're going to go a lot further than you can actually throw. So what you do is, when you are cycling through, say you want to shoot a smoke grenade at a target, these are mostly going to be used for if you're trying to, if you're under fire or something like that, and you're trying to, say for example, you're taking fire from the hangars over here, or you're trying to get to the hangar. What you can do is you can plant smoke grenades along the way, so you can try to cover your if you're trying to run away or you're trying to move, say, from the tarmac here over to that position. But if they're going to end up giving your position away, because they're going to be able to see the smoke in the distance. It's mostly if you're already engaged. So I'm going to go ahead and what you do is you scroll your mouse wheel and you can reload. So I'm going to be reloading a white smoke grenade inside of here. And when I go ahead and shoot it, it's actually going to bounce. I'm going to try and get it inside the hangar. Oh, there it goes. So you can see it's not 100% accurate. It's going to end up bouncing around a little bit. See if I can actually put it inside the hangar. There we go. Unlike the HE grenades, these things are actually going to bounce up and down when they hit the ground. The HE is going to impact when it hits a target, but when it hits the target, it's going to explode. There's like a 25 meter, 15 to 25 meter distance from you and the target. So if you're trying to shoot an HE grenade from right here, you're too close. It's not going to have time to activate. So if I go ahead and shoot the target right here with the HE 203, you can see it in the ground right here and it didn't explode because it's not activated. It didn't have far enough distance to travel before it actually becomes a live grenade. This is mostly for safety purposes. So here's a red smoke grenade. They don't last for very long. Didn't look like it lasted quite as long as a regular hand-thrown smoke grenade. There's the red one, and I'm going to go ahead and shoot a green one as well. Last but not least, for the M203 is the flares. These are going to be able to shoot these up into the sky, and it's going to light up an area. It's not as fast. I mean, it burns out a lot faster than a standard hand flare. I'm going to go ahead and shoot this up into the sky. There's two different types of flares that you can find. There's white flares and green flares, and they both have the same percentage chance. They're 0.96% chance of finding the flares. You can find them on zombies and inside of military structures. The same thing again, you go ahead and scroll your mouse wheel when you are on the M203 up on the top right hand corner. And I'm going to go ahead and shoot the white one, and then I'll shoot the green one to give you an idea what it looks like. So it lit up a pretty good area. It lights a good section. You can use these for ambushing a target. It's only going to stay lit until it hits the ground. The second it hits the ground, it's going to go out. Say you come up across a group or something like that, or you just want to light up a town really quick, see what's down below. That's mostly what they're used for. Is it's going to be this light, a quick burst of light, just soon enough where you can actually just see what's in that general area. This is the green flare. You can see it's a different color. It gives it kind of a more of a night visioning look on the field as it goes down and hits the ground. Next on our list is hand grenades. They take up your inventory slots. One grenade will take up one slot in your inventory. These are for anti-personnel and their time, so when you throw it, it's going to take, depending on how far you throw it, there's going to be a fuse for how long it blows up. I'm not very familiar with hand grenades, but I think what you want to do is you want to place the dot underneath of where you want to throw it to. The longer you hold it down, the further you're going to throw the hand grenade. I think the furthest you can throw a hand grenade is between 70 and 100 meters. That circle on the very top, it shows where the hand grenade is going to go. It's going to go within that circle. I'm pretty sure that's 100 meters right there from the box. I put this box here just in case we can try and use it for some cover, so we don't actually get ourselves blown up here. So the longer or shorter you hold it down, it depends on how far the hand grenade is going to go. I'm try to get it on top of. And remember, when you throw these, they're actually going to bounce. You can see it's bouncing up and down. You can use these if somebody's behind cover. I set up these extra targets over here so we can try to get a hand grenade either through that window or next to the window itself. Nope, missed. I got those, I think. So the explosive range for these hand grenades is going to be it's pretty big. It's about I think it's about the same size as the M203s as well. You can find hand grenades, I believe you can find them on military zombies, and you can find them in military structures. There's a 0.96% chance of finding hand grenades inside of a military structure. Last but not least is the pipe bomb. The only place that you can find pipe bombs is inside the barracks, and there's a 0.11% chance of finding a pipe bomb. This is what they look like on the ground. Like you just drop them. So they look like a Makarov, like you're going to run up and pick up a Makarov. Don't get fooled. How you use these is you scroll your mouse wheel and you can place a satchel charge. So I went ahead and placed the satchel. This is what it looks like planted. And you need to be careful when you do that. You can deactivate it. So I can go ahead, you scroll your mouse wheel and then click deactivate. But I'm going to go ahead and put it back down. You can set it for 30 seconds, but you can set it for a lot longer time. So you can keep scrolling your mouse wheel, and now it's up to a minute 30, 2 minutes. But if you don't want to set the timer to actually explode, you could try and set up an ambush with this. If you notice, it's on the ground. I have it on my mouse wheel. I can put down another satchel charge. I can set the timer, or I can touch off the bomb. What it's going to do is it's going to make the bomb explode. It's like a remote detonator, so you can go anywhere near that and be able to blow it up. So we're going to run kind of far away. I think the max distance for these is you need to be within 250 meters of the target to set off a satchel charge. So that's the furthest you can go. So you can be just 250 meters away from this thing, which is pretty far. It's a pretty good distance to be away from it. I suggest being at least 50 meters away from this thing when it blows up. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll my mouse wheel. I'm going to click touch off bomb, and there it goes. It has a much bigger explosion radius than the hand grenades or 203. And again, you can find these inside the barracks. There's a 0.11% chance of finding them inside.